Hey guys, Alasdair again with RippleOut Retreats, and now I'm gonna go through the gear that I've packed for 2 weeks in Yosemite. You guys are gonna be out there for 5 or 6 days. I'm gonna be out there for 2 weeks. So um, if I don't have it, you probably don't need it. So first, to give you an idea, I think one thing that you really have to keep in mind is that there's a lot of other stuff you're going to be carrying that we're going to be giving you. We've rented you guys all gear, so there's going to be, between every 2 people, there's going to be a stove kit and 2 canisters of fuel. We've also rented you guys a sleeping bag, a sleeping pad, a tent. What else? Am I missing anything else? Oh, and something new, we've added trekking poles as well. So you will also get trekking poles. Oh, and a backpack. So all those things are going to add a lot of weight, and they're going to take up a lot of space. One other thing I didn't mention is food. You are bringing 6 days of food with you, and that's heavy. So can we show them? First off, let's just show them everything, if you don't mind. So this is everything I'm bringing for 2 weeks in Yosemite, in the wilderness. Okay, over here is the food, and this is how much food you're all going to have. There's 6 days, so we have 6 packs with breakfast, snacks for lunch, and dinner. Each one weighs somewhere between a pound, or about 1.5 pounds. Each of these bags. So you're gonna have about 9 pounds of food on you total. 9 pounds of food, and then you're also gonna have your gear. So you need to keep that in mind. Also, water is heavy. Water per liter is a kilogram in weight. A kilogram is, I realize we're not in Europe anymore, so about 2.2 pounds. So we're not going to have to be carrying a ton of water at any point in time because there's going to be water everywhere. We're not going to be able to get away from water. So that's good. We will have to carry less. But even if you just carry one of these, or 1.5, you're looking at carrying another 3 to 4 pounds of weight, plus 9 pounds of food, plus your gear. So that starts to be a lot. Also, this takes up a lot of space. So again, do not pack anything you absolutely do not need. And by the end of this, you should see exactly what you need, because I've packed everything I need and nothing more. Okay, so let's go through everything now. So we have the food. You guys are all gonna have some lovely food. Julie-Roxane has made incredible backpacking meals. They are amazing. So you guys are gonna be really spoiled. I was actually just eating them for meals because they taste so good. So here is my sleeping bag. We're gonna provide you with a sleeping bag, so don't worry about this. By the way, if there's anything you're bringing that we're providing for you, let us know so we don't rent extra stuff. If you're gonna bring your own stuff and you haven't already told Kelly, please let her know, because one, we want to check and make sure the gear you're bringing is safe to use for the conditions. So we want to make sure you're bringing gear that's actually going to work for what we're doing. And two, if you do bring gear, we don't want to rent extra and not use it. So please, if you plan on bringing gear and Kelly doesn't know about it, please let her know. Okay, I'm also carrying a one-man tent and a sleeping pad. And over here I have my water filter. This is the Sawyer Squeeze. It's the one we recommended you guys pick up. This is a backpack cover to keep the backpack dry if it rains. This will come with the backpack. I have 2 water bottles. One is a liter and one is a liter and a half. So I have 2.5 liters of water. Probably aren't going to need that much, but two is probably good. Let's see. I have my cook kit. So this is my stove. You guys, we're gonna be giving you guys a stove and also all the pots and pans and utensils that you need. Inside I have a lighter, and this is where I've stashed all my medications. So these are supplements and prescribed medication that I take. Don't forget your prescribed medication. And anything that you need to take, but don't bring anything that you really don't need to be taking because it's heavy. So there's that. I also have a small little food kit. So I got a plastic spoon, fork, a couple like kind of little rags for dishes, and a sieve for coffee. Don't worry about your cooking kit again. That's going to be provided. So I'm also bringing a few things here. I'm bringing hand sanitizer, so a small travel size of hand sanitizer. That's more than enough for one person. In fact, you could take half of that and be fine. So if you want to empty it, or if you have a half full one, that's good. Every ounce counts, so the less the better. I'm bringing a little bit of Wilderness Wash. I'll take these things out of the bag so you can see them. Wilderness Wash is a super concentrated soap that I can use for any kind of washing I need to do, and it's biodegradable. I have a small thing here of DEET lotion in case the mosquitoes are really bad and I have some skin that I need to cover up. This is only for my skin. And I've got a comb because I got these lovely golden locks and I gotta keep them untangled. And I got some sunscreen. So I got some 50 plus SPF sunscreen, and that's going to keep my face safe, but most of the time I'm not going to need that because I'm going to be covered up. Okay, so those are my toiletries. Let's see what else I have. I have a cup for drinking out of. This is going to be supplied. Don't worry about that. I have my first aid kit. So in here I got some stormproof matches. Don't worry if you don't have those. We should have enough in case something happens. We'll have a few lighters and everything. I got some medical tape if I need to tape anything up. I got painkillers. Something important about painkillers is you need to bring your own. We cannot supply you with painkillers. It's a health risk. So bring ones that you know you're not allergic to, but bring your own, and I would say bring a lot. Sometimes if things are tough, there's nothing better than a coffee and some painkillers in the morning. That's how I get going. So I also have some blister stuff in here. Plan on having blisters. Even if you don't, that's great. You can keep it in your kit for next time. But you definitely want to have something to treat blisters. Band-Aids are not good enough. I would recommend getting some specialized blister stuff. So for example, here I have for blisters, and I have more than I need for myself, but I'm getting some extra. I have moleskin pre-cut blister dressings. Okay, so that's going to be in different sizes, and I can just apply those. I also have some stuff in my personal first aid kit. So I have second skin blister patches as well, they're more like plasters, which are kind of like a gel kind of cushion that you put on there and they stay on for days at a time. Those can save your life if you have a bad blister that you just need to get through. Yeah. I have some Band-Aids in here. I have antiseptics and stuff to wash cuts and stuff. We're going to be bringing a general purpose first aid kit with us to in case anything happens, but I highly recommend you bring your own blister stuff. Blisters and painkillers. Those are two things that we might have extra of as far as the blisters go, or we really can't give you the painkillers. But we may not have a ton, and if you have bad blisters, that can really put a damper on the trip. So make sure you have stuff for blisters. Okay, let's see what else I have here. I have a dry bag. So I'm bringing a couple electronics that I told you guys not to bring. One of them is a Kindle, because I will finish one book and I'll be out there for a long time. So I'm bringing my Kindle. If you bring any electronics, make sure they're ones you're okay with losing, having break, because it's always possible. So if you're not willing to lose it, definitely don't bring it. The other electronics I have a small camera that I'm bringing. So these will go in my dry bag as an extra form of protection. One thing to know is that in the backpacks we give you guys, we're also going to give you a trash compactor bag like this. It's heavy duty plastic, and this will be a lining for the inside of your bag, which will just serve as an extra level of water protection. We're probably going to be in very, very wet places, and we just want to try to keep our stuff as dry as possible. So you guys can expect that with your bags, you're going to have a couple trash compactor bags so that everything will have a second layer of protection inside the backpack. But if you have anything very valuable electronic-wise that you're bringing, I highly recommend you bring it in a dry bag or a Ziploc or something that's waterproof, because this is not fail-safe. I mean, this is a layer of protection, but I wouldn't want to rely on it if I'm carrying a very expensive piece of gear with me that's susceptible to water. Okay, I'm bringing a hat. Make sure you bring a hat of some kind that gives you shade. I got, again, these lovely golden locks that shade up the back of my neck, so I'm not too worried about that. I just want to have something that covers the front for me. So those dorky kind of safari hats are actually really good trekking hats. So if you think you're going to be a loser by bringing one of those, you're not. It's going to be really cool because you're going to be in the shade. Also bring here's my mosquito head net. It's really small, it's really light, it costs $10. I wouldn't leave without it just in case. It's a really small investment, but it could save your trip. I have a microfiber towel. I have a large. I probably would go with the extra large if I got it again, because this is small. But this works, this is good for me. I have, we're gonna be supplying your fuel. I was immature, I'm sorry. But I have 2 things of fuel, so between, I think, 2 people, you're going to be carrying something similar, because you will be sharing stove kits with one other person. I have 3 pairs of wool socks. Wool is my sock of choice because it cools, it keeps your feet cool, and it dries easily, and they protect your feet. I get a lot less blisters when I'm wearing socks like these.
And they don't retain odor as well.
And they don't retain odor as well, and that's also great. So these are darn tough socks. You can get them at REI. They have a lifetime guarantee, and I really like those. And they have cool colors. Always important with socks. You gotta get cool color socks. Otherwise, it's just too boring. Okay, we're gonna provide you with walking sticks. So this will help with endurance and falling, or, you know, it's going to help you save your knees and protect your ankles from injuries and stuff like this. So these will be provided. If you're bringing your own, please let us know so we don't rent extras. Let's see what else we got here. Right, I got a pair of broken-in trekking shoes. You still have a week. Well, by the time you see this, maybe less, but make sure your shoes are broken in. That's important. And just to show you in my trekking shoes, they have a hard toe to protect your toes if you stub them or something. And they have a really solid, aggressive grip on the bottom. Both those things are really helpful when you're in the mountains. And it's kind of it's got a kind of tight side, so it's pretty protected. These are waterproof. You know, at this point, with the amount of water that I'm hearing is in Yosemite, the waterproof shoes might be a nice idea, but they may not help much. We may be walking in a lot of water, so I wouldn't worry too much if your shoes are not waterproof. We'll just have to dry them out when we're done walking. I also have a pair of camp shoes. So these are just a pair of old flip-flops. I would actually prefer to bring Crocs, or the kind of like Nike or lightweight Nike or Adidas sandals where you can just slip your feet in, because I usually wear these with socks, because by the time I have my shoes off and I'm at camp, it's getting cold. So usually I'm wearing these with socks. So I would recommend lightweight and slip-on. That's not what I have. Okay, clothes, which is what everyone wants to know, I think. Well, before we get to clothes, I'll show you a couple things I have. I have a compass. I have a map. Your guides are going to have compasses and maps. It's always good to have your own compass and map. The map I'm using is this one. It's by National Geographic. It's the Yosemite National Park, number 206. So if you want to get one, you can. You probably will have time to get one at the Yosemite Valley as well if you wanted to, but I wouldn't count on it. So I have that, and I have a compass for navigating. I also have a GPS unit. No one else needs one of these. We only need one of these per group. This will make sure we can communicate with the outside world. So if there's any emergencies, we can call search and rescue and make sure that anyone who gets hurt can get evacuated. And we can contact the outside world and also check maps. So that is just for me.
Can we play Candy Crush on it?
I don't think I downloaded that app. Just imagine burning down my GPS SOS battery because I'm playing Candy Crush on it. We have a headlamp. Don't worry about headlamps. Those will be provided. You do not need to bring a headlamp. Also, I have polarized UV rated sunglasses. Super important that they're polarized. It gets very bright, especially if we're walking on snow, because the snow is a reflective surface. So you definitely want to have sunglasses. I got some earplugs in here, just in case. I never go anywhere without earplugs. That's just a traveler's habit. And I also have an eye cover for sleeping. Another thing I just never go anywhere without. But I don't think that's it's not super important. You don't need to bring one of those. Okay, we've covered everything except for clothes. So let's talk about clothes, which is where I think a lot of people have questions. I have 3 pairs of underwear. These are ex officio, and let me show you. So these are ex officio boxer briefs. I think they make them for women too. And they're great because they're dry fit, they're synthetic, they dry really fast, and they don't retain odor. You might be noticing a theme here with my clothes. Okay, I have a neck warmer. So this is just like a piece of cloth. I got it in Nepal for like a rupee or 5 rupees or something. It was like $1. Just goes here, and I can do this with it, so I can keep my neck warm. It's nice to have something to keep your neck warm, because the extremities is where you're going to lose most of your heat in the evening. It's not going to be from your torso and your core. So you want to keep your extremities covered. I also have a pair of gloves. So they're just a pair of gloves that are going to keep my hands a little warmer. Particularly, these are nice in the morning because we're going to wake up and it's going to be frosty. I have a beanie. Do not come without a beanie. You need something to keep your ears and your head warm. I have also a pair of long johns. So these are wool, and I'm gonna wear these underneath my my pants in the evening if I need to stay warm. You can also get insulated pants. If you have insulated pants, you do not need long johns or something like that. That's probably enough. But otherwise, it's nice to have something because my pants are not going to keep my legs very warm. I need something underneath. I have a bandana. So this is to protect me from the sun, and it's also to protect me from insects. I got a special one, and it's already been treated with insect repellent. So it's called Insect Shield. I do not recommend that you soak your own bandanas in permethrin, just because that is a bit close to the face, and that may not be a good idea. If you're going to go with something like this, get it already pre-treated. That would be what I would do.
What is the brand of this?
I don't know. It's Insect Shield Repellent Apparel.
It's ex officio.
Is it?
Yeah. Look on the other side.
Yeah. Ex officio. So my favorite brand, Ex Officio, makes insect repellent bandanas. The pattern isn't the coolest, but you have to make compromises somewhere. Okay. All right. So moving on, I have 2 pairs of pants. Here are my tried and true Columbia trekking pants. This is what I'm going to be wearing every day when I'm walking. They zip off here. So they turn into shorts. So if it gets really hot and I don't want to wear the pants, then I have a short option. But you want to have the pant option as well for protecting your legs from the sun, from mosquitoes, and from brush and stuff that we might be walking up against that could harm you or be itchy or stuff like that. So those are my trekking pants. I have one other pair of pants, and this is it for pants. These are like a more stretchy fabric. They're made by Prana. I really like Prana's pants. They're stretchy and they're not going to keep me very warm, but they're comfortable. They're kind of like PJs for me. It's something to wear in the evening once I got to camp, because I expect my trekking pants are going to be muddy and pretty dirty, and I don't want to be taking those into the tent. So I will switch into these, and when it gets cold, I will throw my long underwear on underneath, and then I will wear these. That keeps me fairly warm. These on their own don't. That's it. So as you can see, I have 2 pairs of pants, one that turns into shorts. That's all I'm bringing as far as the bottom half of my body. This obviously, if you want to bring other clothes, and I recommend you do, bring maybe a couple other things for when we're at the house. That's fine. We're going to have a place for you to store it. Just keep in mind, you don't want to bring super valuable stuff, because we're probably going to be storing it in a car somewhere while we're gone. So it's secure, but it's not 100% secure. But you might want a couple of clothes, because you'll be tired of wearing trekking clothes by the time we get back, and it's nice that you don't have to do laundry or anything. So bring maybe a couple things that you're planning on leaving in Fresno just for the days that we're at the houses in Fresno. And there's three nights that we'll be staying at a house. But don't bring too much stuff. I mean, let's not judge each other if we're all wearing the same clothes every day. We'll be pretty comfortable with each other by the time we're done trekking, trust me. Okay, I also have 2 shirts. So 2 pairs of pants, 2 shirts. This one I got from the REI discount rack. I love REI's discount rack. I rarely buy clothes if it's not on their discount rack. If you wait long enough, you can find stuff. I got lucky, and I got this beautiful shirt. What's great about this shirt is a couple things. One, it has vents here, so it's going to help keep me cool when I get hot. It's water resistant. I don't really care about that, but that's kind of nice. It's SPF 50, so it's sun protection. It's also pretty thick and durable material, so it's not likely to tear easy, and it's also going to protect me against little insects that want to suck my blood. This I have soaked in permethrin. As I have also soaked this in permethrin. These are the only 2 things. This is my trekking outfit. This is my outer clothes. These are the only 2 things I'm soaking in permethrin. They're the only 2 things I'm going to be wearing. Well, not the only 2 things, but these are the main articles of clothing I'm going to be wearing every day I'm trekking for 2 weeks. There are times where you can wash your clothes. Like, we can rinse them in the water, so you can get them wet and then you can have them dry off at camp or things like that sometimes. So it doesn't mean like you can't rinse them once in a while, but that's all I'm bringing.
They don't usually have a lot of time to dry, though.
No, it's true. It's true. It has to be a pretty warm day, so I wouldn't count on that. But I'm just saying, once in a while, you might rinse them once over the course of 6 days. This is my other shirt. It's short sleeve, which means I'm not going to be trekking in it probably very often, if at all. The other reason I'm not going to trek in it is because it's dry fit. So mosquitoes, and I've tested this, mosquitoes bite through this very easily. So it does not protect me against mosquitoes. But this is nice to wear at night. So I will probably wear this in the evening, and just something I can sleep in and wear when we get to camp. So that's it. This is the only 2 shirts I'm bringing. The other gear I have is a pair of rain pants. So these are just really cheap, lightweight rain pants in case we get caught. The thing is, it's not common. It's probably not that likely that it's gonna storm, but if it does and you don't have stuff to keep you dry, you're going to be miserable. It's rough, and it can get dangerous too. If it happens late in the day and you have no way to dry your stuff, you're going to risk hypothermia as well. So you need to have stuff to keep you dry. So I also have a rain jacket. This is a bit bulkier than I would like to have, but it's a cheap one I picked up somewhere. I think it's for boating, but it's just a rain jacket that's waterproof. So this is an outer shell. This can also work as a windbreaker. So if it gets really windy, this will break the wind and prevent that wind chill from getting into my inner layers of clothes. So this can also serve as a windbreaker at night or whenever if it's windy, because the wind can make it feel a lot colder than it actually is. I have two other very important pieces of clothing. This is my fleece. So this is made by Marmot. It's a inner layer, so if I'm wearing a shirt, I would wear this over it. Sometimes I like, in the morning, if it's still pretty cold, I might trek in this because it's warm but not too warm. It's also, if it gets cold at night and I'm trying to really keep myself warm, I'll wear this, and then I'll wear my jacket with insulation over the top. So let me show you that, which is the last piece of clothing, the last piece of gear that I have. Here it is. This is a black diamond hybrid jacket of some sort. I can't remember. Let's see. Black diamond access light hybrid hoodie with Primaloft gold insulation. And this jacket I've had for about 3 years. It looks really small and light, but it's deceptively warm. It's extremely warm, and this keeps me warm even in the Himalayas. So for me, this is good. And if it gets really cold, I've got my fleece. I can wear this, and if I'm really, really cold, I'll wear this, and perhaps my rain jacket on the outside in between that, and say my gloves, my beanie, my neck warmer, my long johns, pair of socks. I'm going to be pretty warm still. Also, keep in mind that if it ever gets really cold, your last option is always just to jump into your sleeping bag, which is going to always keep you warm. So that's the other option, is if it gets really cold and you're freezing, you get in your sleeping bag. So that's everything. I think just again, expect it to be very wet, expect it to be freezing at night, expect it to be hot in the day, and protect yourself from the sun. Expect there to be bugs. We just want to be prepared for these are a lot of the major things you can do. Keep up with the workouts. Get in one last workout before you come. The better physical shape you are in, the more you're going to enjoy it. It's also the less likely you are to be injured. I weighed my pack. My pack's going to probably be a little heavier than yours because I'm bringing some special gear that you're not going to be bringing, and I'm also carrying everything myself, and you'll be sharing a few things with other people, but it's not going to be very different than mine. My pack, your food is going to weigh about 9 pounds. My pack without food, with all the gear I just showed you, but without food, was about 24 pounds. Together, that's about 33 pounds. That's about as heavy as I'm going to want to take. In fact, that's a little heavier than I'd want to take, but that's what I got. And you have to remember that that's not even the end either, because you're always going to be carrying at least some water, probably at least 1 liter, maybe up to 2 liters, and that's going to add another 2 to 5 pounds. So at that point, I'm at 38 pounds, and I really don't want to go any higher than that. One thing that is nice is as you go, you'll be eating your food, you'll be burning your gas, some things will deplete. So the first couple days are always the hardest, which is unfortunate because they're usually the ones where we're the least in shape as well. But the first couple days are always the hardest, they're always the heaviest. As you get closer to the finish, you eat your way through your pack. So your pack will lighten up considerably. By the end, you will be carrying quite a bit less in weight, maybe 5 to 8 pounds less than when you started. So it gets easier as you go. I think that's it. I'm off to Yosemite tomorrow, which means I'm out of contact. You cannot reach me anymore. But if you have any other questions, you can ask Kelly, and she will answer them for you. So toodles, I will see you next week. I am looking forward to it. I'm so excited to see all your beautiful faces in one place. It's going to be a really fun trip. Don't stress out too much. Embrace the uncertainty. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be incredible.